All right, we are live, and the New York Mets are taking their sweet-ass time making some fucking moves here, and they're getting a lot of the fans very, very nervous right now. Very, very nervous, Kevin. I'm not just talking Frank the Tank. Kyle the Wagon right now is a little upset. He's a little scared. He's a little frightened.
I need my sponsor right now. I do. Are you here for me? I am at like 8.5 out of 10 nervous right now that they are. I thought I would have bet the rent. And maybe there's still time because we know they did things very, very last minute before.
28 minutes left,
Yeah. And it wasn't like Baez was like at the fucking, right? At the wire.
30 we were just talking about
right.
like 15 minutes left.
So, okay. But I would have, if you told me that they were going to stay pat, I would have been like, you are a fucking idiot. There's no way that happens. And I am leaning towards, I think they're going to stay put. And I think that is like unforgivable. Mm-hmm. That will be bad. Really, really bad.
Okay, so first of all, I'm going to be in Epler mode. Are you in Epler mode?
You know what? No,
right
I'm not yet.
You don't have to be in Epler mode if you're not ready.
I mean,
Kyle's in Epler mode.
Here's the thing. I love Epler because of what he's done, but like, I don't know, man. I'll put them on when he makes a move.
So we'll just kind of recap the day that happened beforehand, which it's coming down to the wire. We have a half hour left, less than a half hour now at this point. Mets Twitter has been going crazy for the last couple of days. They haven't made any moves. We're also forgetting that they made a move for Vogelback. The Mets are undefeated since the Vogelback era began, 7-0. Yep. We have our boy Naquin in the lineup. We got Darren Ruff. That was the biggest thing. Got rid of JD Double Davis. RIP and peace to Kevin's boy.
I have been recording and everything, so I don't know anything. Where did he go?
To the Giants for Darren Ruff. Rough Rider. He's basically
4 players for Darren Ruff.
Wow.
Negative .5 ERA.
Yes, and let's not be remiss. Let's bury the lead right here. Chris Clemmer, first appearance on We Gotta Believe. We got Clemmer in. Big Mets fan.
So JD Davis and a bunch of prospects for Darren Ruff?
Well, Zabucky is in that mix.
And he's gone.
And then 2, mild prospects.
Like nobody's. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's Darren? Give me Darren Ruff's numbers.
215. What does he have? Basically, he's going to play against against lefties, right?
He's really good versus lefties. That's what he's supposed to do.
He'll be the Vogelback platoon.
Does that technically put Frank the Tank out of commission?
So I talked to Frank about this. This was the other thing. So the bet that me and Frank had going into this, because he was going crazy in my DMs a couple hours ago, how the Mets, DeGrom was going to be the buy of the deadline, Wilpons and shit, whatever that kind of. So I said, Frank, listen, I'm not going to sell you on Darren Ruff being the trade here, as he shut you the fuck up until October, but they made a trade, so you're still on August. So it's basically double or nothing for Frank.
It's flat, right?
And we have another 26 minutes. If they get, even if it's a lefty reliever, I think that's what we're all waiting for. We want a lefty reliever. A righty reliever would be nice, and then potentially a bat and or a catcher. Kind of could be the same thing if it's Contreras.
We need a fucking catcher is what we fucking need.
Yes.
I mean, what are we doing?
Dude, and there's one available, and like...
The Cubs
have to trade him, no? What is this tweet I saw from you saying they're leaning towards keeping him? For fucking what?
Robert Murray reported they're leaning towards keeping him, maybe getting a comp pick out of it, but it's like, that has to be an absolute bluff. I'm sorry. We'll see at 6 p.m.
You're going to get more than a compensatory pick. You're going to get one player. You could get more than one player in a trade. That would make no fucking sense.
I know that whole thing, they may re-sign him. If they wanted to re-sign him, it would have been done by now.
Yes.
I'm re-signing him. They're not re-signing him.
That's just posturing.
Yankees are talking to the Marlins about Pablo Lopez right now.
That may be why they don't have Glaber in the lineup.
So, and this, again, there's a lot of things moving, a lot of stuff going around right now. A lot of Mets fans have been losing their minds. I also feel like a lot of Mets fans haven't noticed that nobody's made any fucking big moves right now. Like, imagine if the Mets acquired Joey. So the Dodgers got Joey Gallo. Did you see that?
Okay.
Yeah, not overall.
No big moves.
Besides Juan
Soto.
I'm talking about the Braves. I'm talking about the Dodgers. I'm talking about the Cardinals.
I actually really hope that Joey Gallo, I hate the Dodgers and I don't wish them well, but I hope that Joey Gallo goes out there and mashes. That article about how upset he is one of the worst things I've ever read in my life, and it made me really feel bad about myself as a sports fan. So I hope he goes out there and crushes and has a good time. He probably won't. He stinks. But listen, whatever. Yes, they made a big splash last year when they really probably, let's be honest, shouldn't have, or really were not in the there really was not a contending window open. To not do anything this year would be madness, dude. madness, especially when your need is a catcher and there's a catcher out there. When your need is a bat and JD Martinez is out there. And relievers, even like Josh Hader, like why weren't we in on that? Like I cannot co-sign what they've done.
Lopez from the Orioles. The Orioles all of a sudden just became sellers. The dude's locked up for the next 2 years, and he's a great closer.
And they just
and we need an eighth inning guy. Oh, what? May's coming back.
So
what are we doing?
So what scares me is that this all points towards they like these prospects and they think that they're gonna pan out. Yes. And I understand. Alvarez as the number 1 overall prospect in baseball, at the position of catcher where you could really get value from him, I can understand that. All these guys, it looks like to me, I mean, you always love your own prospects, but I follow along a lot of accounts that are always tweeting Michael Mayer and those guys. Like, it looks like these guys are always raking. There's a chance that maybe they do have 3 or 4 really good guys who are going to be ready in the next couple of years. The problem is, the same reason I was trying to always sell everyone on Soto is that they're built for right now, the next 2 years. If those guys can all come up like next year, and we have a whole new lineup and everybody's fucking amazing, I guess so. But that's not really realistic. You always hope for like one to pan out and you move the fucking rest. You got guys who are in win now mode. You're built for now. Like, what is going on?
Well, in terms of bats, they are pretty set at every position outside of catcher.
But there's a catcher available.
There's a catcher available.
Or call up Alvarez.
That's the other thing.
One or the other. It's either this or that.
They have to recognize that if you're not going to trade for Contreras, Alvarez has to be up like next week.
Like he has to be your catcher.
Yes.
We already have, and I would be probably okay with that too. It's more of a risk. Contreras is a sure thing. I'm sure, I would hope that maybe the holdup with Contreras is like they want Alvarez in the. It is tough for me to say like I want to win right now. But if you're telling me that the cost of Contreras is Alvarez, where it's like, well, if we just wait like 1 or 2 more years, we have a better Contreras under control. It's tough for me to say sell that, but like the rest of these guys, send them all, man.
Well, Joel Sherman said that they are considering shopping Ronnie Mauricio.
Yeah, all of them.
So I mean, but if they're talking about him, I think that's a guy that would be a Contreras type. That he's a prospect, I think, of high enough regard where it wouldn't be for a reliever. I wouldn't think. Now we're talking about a
Mauricio's been on the chopping block since we signed Lindor to the extension. You got Beatty at third. It's just been a foregone conclusion. So why are we still hugging him?
And
then by the time the playoffs come around, when McCann and Ito are hitting 180 and we need to have some sort of production, what do you think everyone's going to say? Like, there has to be some sort of gap there. Yes, the pieces that they added were filled in. If you want to say they're going to obviously make up for the production of JD and Dom. That's not the real problem.
You're talking about Vogelback and Nathan?
Yeah, all like the little piece. I said we're like building the team from Miracle. We're like, none of the guys look good on paper.
Well, I like
work
those moves when I was 100% expecting a big move at the end. Mm-hmm. I also know that Soto was never really realistic. From my own personal, from my point of view, I want to hear something. And I don't know if this is the case because we never heard about any offers or anything made. I would like to hear something that was like the Nationals told the Mets we're never doing a deal, or that the Mets came in with an offer and the Nats said like you need to quadruple this. There needs to be some evidence that the Mets were in on him and were told no.
Well, the evidence is in the trade though. The Padres gave up so much more than the Mets could offer.
See, I hear that, and I don't know enough about the Padres.
Mackenzie Gore, I mean, he's a guy
package. But when you have the number 1 overall prospect in baseball, and I am stunned that none of this trade involved money, that blows my fucking mind. And the fact that they're almost taking money back, right? It didn't end up being Hosmer, but these other pieces have to be.
Did you hear what happened?
But he.
So Hosmer was like, I'm not accepting it. They moved him to the Red Sox, and then Voit had to get moved from the first place fucking Padres batting cleanup or 5th in that fucking lineup to now playing for the dead last Washington Nationals.
We may need to have Luke Voit versus Eric Hosmer rough and rowdy for this.
Oh,
can you imagine that?
So I was when the Hosmer no trade thing was popping off. It's like we know Casey McDonald now, Casey Hosmer. She's like 9 months pregnant. They live in San Diego, beautiful Southern Cal. They probably are planning their family there. I was thinking like Hosmer probably had to go in there and be like, I'm not allowed to. Guys, like I have to exercise the no trade. My wife will kill me. I mean, It would have been unreal if that actually dead the deal. Could you imagine the city of San Diego if a guy just said no to that? And it's like, yeah, we don't get Soto.
So it would be like 5 stars GTA on him.
Yeah, no, that guy would. There would be if that was in New York City, there'd be a hit put out on him for sure.
But I will say, as a Mets fan, and listen, I don't want to see Juan Soto in the playoffs. I don't even want to see Josh Bell, who went over there in the playoffs. Not seeing Eric Hosmer in the playoffs, I'm not going to cry about that either. I'm very happy.
Not a problem.
He's no longer in our lives.
Do you think it indirectly fucked us out of JD Martinez because they were trying to get Dom, and now next thing they know, Hosmer's
have Hosmer.
I think that there were
JD may not get
traded.
traded.
Ended up screwing us.
What?
JD may not. JD Martinez.
That's
what's
what's fucked is that I could see where the Red Sox were like, we'll trade him, we won't trade him. Contreras, I felt like had.
It feels that way, but we're 20 minutes, 18 minutes away, and he's still on the Cubs. He's in the lineup.
So our boy Pat Ragazzo, who's done a lot of stuff, he does Frank's show. His tweet, based off numerous conversations I had with Mets people in recent weeks, one possible pivot plan may be to call up top prospect catcher Francisco Alvarez if they can't upgrade the position at the 6 p.m. deadline, should the Cubs not budge off their ass.
And that's not really a pivot plan. That's fucking like...
That's common sense because we're getting 500 OPS from our catchers, and if he's hitting in AAA...
And what about like nothing about relievers or anything?
It seems like a
still
bluff
looking
to me.
for a bullpen arm per like several reporters. So
They put that out there as a bluff to the Cubs, being like, all right, we'll bring him up. Fuck you.
You guys are going to keep Contreras. Well, we'll call up Alvarez, and at the end of the day, we end up making a deal.
Why would a team put that out? Like, why would that that doesn't make any sense. I feel like it's all smoke and mirrors. I don't know if I'm just being optimistic. If we walk out of here with no catcher, I'm going to be furious.
If we walk out of here with like nothing,
if we walk out of here with no
pitcher
catcher, I'd be okay. But you have to get a reliever because we cannot. We have like 2 relievers we could actually trust down a stretch. I mean, Charmay coming back helps, but
so like Epler, I could see saying like, I don't agree with him, but if he was like, I believe in all these prospects and I'm not doing it for a rental, okay. But these relievers are not.
No.
Those are like, you have to. You do that over here while planning the big fucking splash because you're dealing low-level guys, players to be named later, whatever, because everybody just needs to bolster with arms. The fact that might not happen.
The Tigers have made no moves, and they
still have Andrew Chafin.
In my head that I can pick. Yep.
Yeah. Chafin and Fulmer. Yeah.
Castellani's not going to let us down. I'm going to say it right now. Castellani will not let this happen. He will make sure we get one of their relievers. I would like Chafin.
You can't make a move last year. You cannot signal to the fan base, we went for it last year and we're not going for it this year. Or they needed to make, from a PR point of view, they needed to make big noise about Vogelback and Naquin and be like, these are the pieces we thought and we're going to stick to it.
No one would have bought that,
which I know is silly, but I'm just saying, if that was their thought process, I think you have to be way more transparent with fans now with the way of social media and whatnot, where they needed to be like, they should have been like, Juan Soto's not happening. Like, don't even get your hopes up.
Michael Fulmer to the Twins.
Again to the Twins? Twins got Tyler Mahle today from the Reds.
So it's like these guys are on the go.
And they're still chafing.
And they got the Lopez from the Orioles. This is the 3rd pitcher the Twins have gotten today.
I needed Fulmer here.
Good relievers, too.
Fulmer,
middle of the way guys. These are good relievers.
Juju. Fulmer was Juju. He was the Cespedes.
He
completed the circle. Yep. He completed the circle. I don't like Fulmer not coming here. And I know we need a lefty. Okay, everyone, if you could get one piece, I think we would take like Contreras as the piece.
Yes, 100%.
If not Contreras, would you rather a catcher or a lefty arm that you can, as reliable as you're going to get as a lefty arm at the deadline?
Probably Andrew Chafin because we're going to be facing guys like Juan Soto, Freddie Freeman, Matt Olson in the playoffs, and you're going to need a lefty reliever.
At the same time, though, every time I've thought we need more pitching, I see all these stats that are like, no, what you need is offense. Because when we score more than 2 runs, we win like all of our games.
They're putting McGill in the bullpen. And they tried Peterson, which is a failure. May's coming back. If those are the guys, though, where they're like, oh, look, we have arms. We don't have any lefties.
I guess we're getting May back tomorroah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to that earlier question, I would have said JD Martinez. But now that we got Darren Ruff, that's obviously off the table, I imagine. So because I think we need offense.
And the other thing is, it's like Mark Vientos. They think he's untouchable as a good player. Why the fuck wasn't he up a month ago when we had to watch J.D. Davis?
Like, who thinks he's untouchable, though? Like, have we heard word that, like, the
organization... That's the leaks that they're trying to give out. We don't know if it's bluff. At
this point,
14 minutes, it feels real.
It feels like everybody's untouchable 14 minutes.
And they have to be up.
Yeah.
Like, if that happens and they come up and they hit well, then, like, fine.
There's no spot for him to come up now with Ruff. He's a DH first base type. You got Darren Ruff, who signed another 2 years after this.
Darren Ruff's numbers?
He's like 886 OPS versus lefties. So
Crushes lefty.
Right. You can't have him bag against righties.
So we're
They
basically
have to give you the split because overall he looks like shit.
Yeah.
And then so Vogelback and him are opposite.
they're our DH
Okay,
basically.
so, like we can platoon those guys in a way.
We have to.
Escobar and Guillorme, and then these two.
That's what the Braves did to the World Series last year.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
That is fine. I'm okay with that, but that should all be in addition to
a big move.
catcher and
Catcher
reliever.
and
one at least a reliever.
and dream of a JD Martinez, dream of a power bat like that. I don't want to I feel like that was the least of our concerns, other than the catcher and the reliever.
I'm stunned right now. I really am. I mean, I've
We got 13 minutes left.
I've been, I've had faith all year. I will wait till 6:00, but if they don't make a move, like I don't, and they'll say like Vogelback, Nathan, Naquin, and Ruff, like what are you talking about? We made moves. Like, come on. You got guys making moves for, I mean, getting Soto and Bell is bananas, dude. Bananas.
Do you think that they're looking at their depth chart and they're saying we're getting May back, we got Lugo pitching like Lugo at least a little bit, McGill could be a bullpen arm, Peterson's going to go to the pen.
But that's
Do you think that's what they're
Wilpons
saying
shit.
right now? Do you think that's what they're saying? Like I don't know. I'm not defending it at all. I'm saying like I'm trying to figure out why it's been so quiet.
I think if they and listen, if they're right, we could be in good shape because this is an inordinate number of guys coming back in a way that you can utilize them. Like, McGill being in the pen, if he's good, like, okay, well then there's your reliever.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's like an unknown entity.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem.
I'd like known
for
stuff,
sure. But I'm saying if they are right, you get back May, you get back McGill, this is where I think if they are betting on these prospects, you'd have to call them up. But you get back DeGrom, you get a reliever in the shape of McGill and May back. Like there will be new players on this team after tomorrow, right? It's the Wilpon way of thinking. We're not excited about it, blah blah blah. But if it's like Epler,
Ken Rosenthal breaking news: Phillies are close on Syndergaard. So that doesn't worry me. We'll hit him. I don't give
whatever.
a fuck.
But it's the cheap way of thinking. It's not what we wanted. But if they really are about these prospects, and it is something where they're trying to like build a Dodgers level of we're just good every fucking year. If all those guys returning from injury are effective, well then technically you do get two relievers and an arm, and there's no bat. Really
I hate that. I hate that thought process.
Let me just say loud and clear. I hate that. I'm just saying that like that. If it was just DeGrom and they were like, that's our acquisition, that'd be bullshit. But if they're like, guys, we're getting you McGill and May and DeGrom, and these are basically guys that you've won totally without. McGill for like a minute. The rest of these guys are truly almost like new players. That is a feasible line of thinking. That's where you should say, well, that's a luxury. So let's let all of that happen while we also get Wilson Contreras. I mean, what would the Cubs? Am I not thinking about this correctly? You get one compensatory pick if he signs, if he's a free agent and he leaves, right? Versus you could get more.
Which is at like the end of the third round, wherever it is.
Right, it's not even a
like
top
a
pick,
60-something pick.
So why would you not trade him and get multiple picks?
And by the way, this isn't like a Conforto situation where Conforto wasn't an all-star. Like, Wilson Contreras is your best player. He's the last piece of a remaining regime that won you the World Series. Like, you have nothing once he leaves town.
Like, is there any the pitching staff doesn't want like a change, like the pitching staff doesn't want a new catcher, like he wouldn't fit in with blah blah blah, anything like that?
If that's the case, why is nobody else offering Wilson Contreras? Why are we the only ones?
Well, that also does weird me out that like nobody else needs a catcher. Nobody else.
Like the Rays and Guardians are involved, but like they can't make a bid too.
Here's the thing, though. You're looking across the way, and it's like the Astros just shored up all their holes. Like they weren't huge players,
the Astros
but like
didn't need to do
they
a
did
fucking
all,
thing,
and they still did.
Yeah.
So it's like.
But again, like the Mets could be like, well, we got Vogelback, we got Naquin. Like they just did it a couple days earlier. But again, that's where like there should have been a press conference where it was like, that's what we were thinking. Like, let us know so I can at least fucking not get my hopes up. I still think I want to hear what was there ever an offer made? Was there ever a conversation had? If it turns out that we were never even discussing Juan Soto with them, that's one of the biggest misses of all time. There needs to have at least been a conversation where they said, in order for us to trade in the division, we would need a package that is you cannot make, and then I would have said okay. But when you have the number 1 overall prospect in baseball, at least 3 others that people talk about regularly, and all the money, I don't know enough about the San Diego farm system, but to me, 4 prospects or maybe 5, including the number 1 in all of baseball, plus money, I think is a better package than their 4 or 5 prospects that are good, but you don't have literally the number 1 and you don't have any money involved there. If you're talking about a rebuild, get good prospects, including number 1, and you clear your money. That to me is like the Mets were perfectly positioned to make that kind of offer.
One thing the Mets could have offered that didn't happen in the Padres deal was Patrick Corbin. We could have taken on that salary and absorbed some of that.
Strasburg, all of them. Give me all your bad contracts. Yeah. Fuck it.
Well, Strasburg you can't because he's a 10-5 guy. You'd have to want to come here. But
sure, okay. But you know whatever.
But Corbin we could have gotten.
Fine. You know, take on all that money, and that's part of your rebuild. Is like.
Maybe we could have absorbed the Hosmer contract as well. I don't know if we were, because he had a limited no trade clause. That's why he went to the Red Sox and obviously didn't end up going to the Nationals. Maybe I don't know if we're on that listed or not, but that could have been another contract.
Almost got him the last time when we were trying to get Paddock.
Right.
It's true. It was already linked to us at some point, so it had to have been a thought process for him.
I agree.
Yeah.
Noah's officially Philly.
So they traded Mickey Moniak and a second prospect.
So they have Zach Wheeler and Noah Syndergaard.
And Noah, that's going to be annoying if it pans out.
DFA'd Jairus Familia, who can now come back. There's your bullpen arm, Kev. You want to bring him back?
No, I want no part of that. No part of that. I mean,
you have to have the defibrillator on hand if for Frank.
Frank was singing. What was the song? What's Familia's song?
Danza Kuduro.
Yeah, he was.
I will say, if somehow Jairus Familia could pitch the 8th inning in a miracle return, and you did Danza Kuduro into Blaster Jacks, it would be the coolest walk-ups of all time.
Said he would burn down.
I don't know, man. This is bad.
I'm starting to get really down. Remember in 2015, last time Mets went to the World Series, obviously we went and got Tyler Clippard, Addison Reed, and they really bolstered that bullpen. Yeah. I feel like you said
not do that.
Well, Reed was an August trade. It was
true.
Was
That's
the
right.
main one.
Yep. But now the waiver deals are different.
That shit, waiver wire bullshit. But like,
I don't think that can really happen anymore, right?
Honestly, do you think that maybe Bell was their target, and then the Soto thing ended up including it, and they were like, "Fuck, now we don't want."
So why not pivot to JD Martinez?
Maybe they're just like Bell. We thought of as like a far and away the best choice. JD Martinez is not. We don't consider.
And
that's
could have just said we're not trading Bell in Division 2. They could have just been straight assholes.
Right.
Like that.
I just wonder for them to be so quiet. It would maybe make sense to me that they wanted Bell, and that threw a wrench into things. So they were like, "Oh fuck, we didn't consider that he would be a part of that deal." Also, I mean, that's such a great move for them. Although I know you love the idea, Kyle. Of he's not going to sign, right? They're not going to be able to sign him long term.
Soto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully expect that we're going to be in on him in 2025, but we need.
Come on, baby. These glasses are staying on for you. Epler mode and a couple fucking. It's easy when Epler can just sign the check. I will say that.
I still like Epler in 1 year.
Oh, and the Yankees made a trade. Jordan Montgomery to the Cardinals.
For what?
Oh, we're gonna lose Clem. Right? Clemmer's on the ledge right now.
It's like 5 minutes left. I can't fucking believe we're here. I can't.
I mean, at this point, they're not making a move.
No, that's not true. No,
not making a move.
No,
I know, but I mean,
he's coming late.
There's nothing we haven't. Unless this is kept
who's the target
quiet. We haven't even heard anything.
He's can come in after the deadline. The Baez trade came in late. Remember the Manny Ramirez to the when he went to the Dodgers? That came in after the deadline.
I'm trying to remember. Was Baez being talked about with the Mets? Is that a full surprise?
No, that was being hyped up for a week.
Yeah, it was.
The return was a surprise, though. I didn't expect that.
Oh, I'm burying a lead here, but Harrison Bader's going to the Yankees, so you're going to hate him even more.
Oh, I'm happy we don't have to deal with him in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. Right now, yes or no, they're making
a countdown going. We got a countdown clock. I love it.
4 minutes, 30 seconds. Are they making a
move?
Me
anxiety.
They better.
Clem?
Are they making a move? Yeah, they're going to make a move. And I will say, a lot of people say I'm like
no.
I suck the dick.
No.
What's up?
Yes or no, they making a move?
Yes.
They absolutely are. They have to. If they don't, they have to.
I'm leaning towards no, and I hate that.
I can't believe we're here.
Everyone says I'm the optimist. I will be upset at them if they don't make the move here. I just thought they were going to make the move, and they have made enough other moves, but you got to make at least one, if not two bullpen.
I am hoping that this is yet again, as always, where it's like the pessimist in me gets just face fucked, and they throw it back in my face. I am very nervous.
I see Epler wearing the shades, cutting the wire with 1 second to go.
We did get a reliever from the Cubs, Michael Givens.
2.66 ERA.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
I don't know what we gave
All
up.
right.
For,
All right, you fucks. You happy?
Yeah.
Clemmer, are you happy? I got to know if Clemmer's
Happier.
Okay, happier. All right, we're working.
For obviously like
3:35 left. We're
like nothing.
working.
I don't
He's on
mind
my
him.
list. He actually got fucked when we played them. He got both losses in the doubleheader and didn't give up a single earned run. So I'm sure he's happy to get out of there.
Already contributing to the fucking World Series. I love this
2
fucking
wins,
guy.
He's a lefty already.
He's a righty, so that's
Okay.
why they're still need a lefty. That's
Yeah.
maybe there's something more
Come
coming.
on, Castellani.
4 more
Work
minutes.
your fucking magic, Chris. I know you're watching right now. Call up who's their fucking GM there.
I don't even know.
Activate.
Phil probably knows. Yeah.
But-
all right,
no, no,
activate
the-
it. Activate the fucking
Tigers
app remote,
GM
Kevin.
Al Avila, the worst GM in the sport.
You're going to activate it afterwards, after they make the trade? That's not how this works.
I think you need
Oh,
bigger moves than that, man.
Givens.
He's
was
a piece, though. I mean, he helps. I mean,
He does.
He's been a
He's
decent reliever for a long
Okay,
time.
I will, but here's the thing. I will activate Epler mode if I am
It's like Frankenstein.
disappointed or not disappointed. Like I think right now I would be still very disappointed at this deadline.
If they get Chafin, will you be happy? Or do you need to get that catcher or that bat to be happy?
We had like 3 or 4 options for the bat, and they're gonna whiff on all those. That would feel very disappointing to me. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
It
here's
needed
the
to
other
be-
tidbit. Buck Showalter's managed Michael Givens before. Maybe he.
Yeah, in
fought for
Baltimore.
that.
That's
Buck's
great.
happy. I'm
I
happy.
needed, Contreras, JD Martinez, Josh Bell. I guess it was really those 3. Like, you don't get any of those, I would still be like, this is disappointing. Yes.
I agree. I think you needed that big
I
bat.
think you needed all the things we're doing are good. These little things are good. It needed to be in addition to, not in place.
I need
of.
immediate press release. Francisco Alvarez is getting brought up.
Yeah,
Like,
that
literally.
also, that also needs
right
to
away.
be like a part of it. I just don't think they're gonna. I also, if they were again PR wise, if they came out and they said we are building for long term repetitive success, and we think that this year we are World Series contenders, but we want to be World Series contenders from now until 2035, and part of that is keeping with these prospects, I would disagree with it, but at least I would be ready, and I'd be like, all right.
They've kind of hinted at that in the past. They've in the last few months. I feel like they've kind of said that in so many words. They're like, "Oh, we're very true to our prospects. We gave up too much last year."
Sports. You remember when the New York Rangers put out that press release and were like, "We're gonna suck and just ride it out with us," and then in a matter of a couple of years, they did it. I think that there's New York fans. Mets fans are proven to be complete assholes, but they are smart and they are at least understanding of the game. And if you were just honest, there'd be outrage and shit, but I don't like this feeling of like I got blindsided because I really fully thought you guys were going to do some shit.
This is a different situation, though. This isn't a rebuild. This is a
Yeah.
team that's going to win
I'm not
100
comparing
games.
Apples to apples, but I'm just saying that type of honesty where if they just said, like, guys, don't hold your breath at the deadline, we're talking more about keeping these guys for the future, I'd say, hey, I think you're stupid and you're wrong, but I wouldn't be waiting on the edge of my seat like a dumb dickhead.
That was the one thing. Sandy would always be like, temper your expectations, and then like just surprise you, and you're like, oh shit, we
that's
just
a
got
good
somebody.
thing.
They're always fucking broke.
Everybody had high
Wilpons
expectations. Right.
And now I'm wondering if this is still Sandy. Like,
30 seconds.
I mean, like I said, things can happen after the actual 6 o'clock. You know, there is stuff
Yeah.
that leaks out afterwards, but
no, but I mean,
and every second makes me upset. So.
not good.
If you're watching and you're in New York City, go to Blue Haven East.
Yes,
7 o'clock
Blue Haven
tonight.
We'll
East
be
tonight.
there. I mean, without Soto and Bell on that lineup, Jacob deGrom might throw a fucking perfect game in his return.
Still don't know the Nats lineup, so.
The Mets were a minus 320 favorite before the trade got announced. They went
Jesus.
minus 700. We have the DeGrom bet on the Barstool Sportsbook. DeGrom plus 5 or more strikeouts. Alonso hit. Mets win plus 160 because Mets win by 1.5 because it was so fucking stacked.
Yeah, you
With
couldn't
plus
get any good
125. We
odds.
got it to 160.
Good
with the
odds.
boost.
Yeah.
So we're at 6 o'clock p.m. Pencils down.
I mean, to me, this is a colossal
Let's
disappointment.
see if there's one more after.
I don't know. He hasn't been traded yet. I mean, I don't know.
Who?
Contreras. I mean, they're not just going to keep him. This is madness. I feel like this was all bluff till the end. I don't know. Maybe
That would be.
Maybe they're fooling
Like, if
me.
I was a Cubs fan, I'd be like.
I think Carl's on starting 9 live like right now, going nuts. So.
I feel like that's what I was going to say. I want to know what Cubs fans feel. It feels like when we were like, trade Reyes if you're not going to re-sign him. You have to
And
think
we
of it from the
did
Cubs
nothing.
fan perspective, where it's like, what the fuck are we doing here right now?
No, I don't think we're going to get him because Givens is on the Cubs, obviously. They would have put the two guys
Would think
together.
so, yeah.
We're fucked. We're not going to get him.
I mean, that's a huge,
Jesus Christ.
huge miss.
Royals have traded Whit Merrifield. We don't know to who. If we don't know who, hopefully it's not the Braves.
Yuck, man. Yuck.
That would make sense.
All right, well, for anyone that's down, Edwin Diaz just won reliever of the month for the second straight month. We have 2 generational talents as our starters in the playoffs, as long as everybody stays healthy. It's not like we're in a bad situation.
I do. It's not.
Just would have been nice.
It is not an excuse, and it does not take the place of what just happened.
Nope.
But getting McGill, May, DeGrom, there are several pieces coming back that at the very least, we don't have to watch the same relievers go out there and get their same dicks kicked in. But, man.
We got today with Darren Ruff and Michael Givens. That's a fucking disaster. I mean, just in a simple, isolated.
That is a 2 seed in LOL Mets, considering where we're supposed to be at this year.
Do you think it's because Ottavino's been pitching better, and they're like, oh, look, he's coming around?
I just don't understand. Cohen wouldn't give a fuck about these things.
Right.
He'd be like, go, 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 go.
Right.
So I don't know if it's Epler, if it's Sandy. Again, if you say we're not giving up the top guys because we like them, I disagree. But okay, that has nothing to do with bolstering with arms by trading your low-level guys. No one's out here asking for Alvarez and Beatty and Vientos for their bullpen arms. So what if you want to hoard your prospects, fine, but not the fucking scrubs.
Yeah. There's still.
I mean, why not try to go get Vasquez from the Red Sox yesterday? I know obviously went to the Astros, but why not? If you're not going to get Contreras, why not make more of an effort there?
Merrifield to the Blue Jays. So
Okay,
not
that's
to the Braves.
Oh, so he's getting vaccinated to play there, or supposedly.
Allegedly, that's right, because he couldn't travel there with half the team.
So what? We're just looking at the Phillies upgraded. The Braves didn't really do anything.
The Dodgers didn't do anything.
That's it. If the Braves trade for all the players we did, what would the expectation of that be?
They did it last year, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Wait, so are you saying that the Braves moves? What was it,
Soler, Duvall, Eddie Rosario?
You're saying that's comparable to Vogelbach?
No, it's not.
No, it's
Those
not
guys are all
comparable.
better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they're all better. Jorge Soler was literally garbage at the deadline last year. He was literally last in that war.
Sorry?
Jorge Soler.
Yeah.
Tyler Naquin?
Fucking.
Tyler Naquin is,
He's better than Jankowski. That's really
Right,
it.
but you're upgrading guys who were just fill-ins and role
I
players.
think Jankowski didn't get a hit since May 3rd.
Right. Vogelbach's been good, but
it's been a week.
I mean, Vogelbach.
It's fucking Rob Deere. Let's not get
Okay,
crazy.
it's been a week. He's still better than anything Dom's done.
It sucks
I know.
that, Vogelbach kind of happened when it did, and we got, we already got him, so we're not counting that. But I don't know. Even if you include Vogelbach, this is a disaster. There's no defending this one. That's a nightmare.
White Sox Dave is doing a live group therapy session, which we've been there before.
For
the
White Sox? They didn't do shit.
I don't think we need a therapy session. I do think there's been enough moves to at least say they did something, but I wish there was more. And again, we have a hard out here, so we're gonna probably take off in a minute. So, but we will. I guess if anything comes down, I mean, how long do these usually?
About 20 minutes. So
20 minutes or so?
I think by 6:30 we'll have our answers.
I also feel we would have heard something like.
They still have to make 40-man moves like DeGrom and everything too. So
I don't know, man.
if you had told me when this day started that Dom Smith would still be on our roster,
yeah,
as the Dom Smith guy of the podcast, I still am saying, what the fuck are you thinking?
Are you wearing the Dom Smith jersey tonight?
Yeah, autographed.
Autographed Dom Smith jersey. He's going to a
I
bar.
thought it was garbage.
Got 5 minutes of Coors Light. What's that called again? The Coors.
Or it's Double Tap.
Coors
5
Light
minutes
Double
of
Tap.
free beer if you're coming out.
We're gonna watch Jacob deGrom strike out more than 5 people on the Nationals. We're gonna watch Pete hit a fuck bomb. We're gonna watch the Mets win. We're gonna watch the Braves. Braves are playing the Phillies, the fucking very hot Phillies, fresh off the deadline, and we'll see. Cubs might be on the enemy list if they didn't give us Contreras.
Well, they gave us Givens, so.
Oh, that's true. That you make a very fair point. I don't want to.
then Givens is a good reliever. They needed a lefty, and
Yeah, they
I'm
need.
hoping there's something that hasn't been reported yet.
There
So.
better be a fucking lefty because I cannot take Jelly Rodriguez as our only guy in the pen. And Peterson cannot be that guy either.
We saw 1 inning audition from Peterson. We saw 5 pitches to know he can't be a lefty reliever.
And I imagine Buck said the same thing to Epler and Big Uncle Stevie. So
I'm very upset with today, but big picture, I'm very happy with this team. So I'm trying to look at the whole thing here. I mean, we're on pace to win 100 games. We're getting DeGrom back today.
Epler, it's from Marte to Canna to Vogt, all these moves are great moves.
Okay, so this is helpful to me. At least Rodon and Jock are staying with the Giants. So no late Braves press release that they got Jock Peterson, which would have sent me crazy. So
yeah.
Right. But man,
It's done by the Giants.
it's not
and Cubs are not trading Contreras or Happ. Go fuck yourself, Chicago.
what the fuck?
I'd be furious if I was a Cubs fan right now.
Furious.
Doesn't make any sense.
But like that's where they should have like pivoted and moved on. I don't know. I guess you know when you talk about trying to bolster the pen, if you're not going to go get like Fulmer or a big name, Hader, whatever, I feel like you can do those waiver wire moves and like just throw shit against the wall. But why not try to go get something like that Hader thing really pissed me off too. It's like get creative with it. Like why not? That kind of came out of nowhere, right? Like I'm sure somebody brought that up and they were like, you know what? All right, fuck it, we will sell. I have no idea why the Brewers are going to be in first place and selling off pieces like that. But like, why not get aggressive, get creative?
Relievers are really that one thing where like you trade for somebody who was good the year before in the offseason and they come in and suck. If you're getting somebody at the halfway point, you already know they've been successful so far.
Right.
Especially with his track record too. I mean, he's been a consistent.
He's not like what he was, but he's like
still has good stuff though.
I cannot believe that the Orioles moved that closer. Lopez was like on my list of being like he's not going to get touched because he's got 2 years of control. If you're going to give up some, we have pieces. Like why not just move somebody?
Yep. Disaster. At least Jacob deGrom is back.
Saving grace.
Gotta believe.
Gotta believe.
Darren Ruff.